wherever you go, whatever they get into. From chill time to everyday adventures, protect your dog from parasites with Credelio Quattro. For full safety information, side effects, and warnings, visit CredelioQuattroLabel.com. Consult your vet or call 1-888-545-5973. Ask your vet for Credelio Quattro and visit QuattroDog.com.
Up next, Eddie George takes some time to sit down with Alex at Mac Media Day to talk about the upcoming challenges for the program, what the season may pan out to be, and transitioning from Tennessee back to the state of Ohio. Stay tuned.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Mac Sports Connection podcast at the 2025 Mac Media Day. Joined here with first-year head coach Eddie George of the Bowling Green Falcons. Coach, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. Such a great day. It's about 95 degrees outside. I'm glad we're inside this beautiful establishment here at the Ford Field. And, hey, we're talking ball and getting ready to rock and roll. So what could be better, huh? Christmas is right around the corner.
Exactly. We got a few football games we got to get out of the way before Christmas, but
yeah.
we're getting close.
I'm talking
that
about
Christmas.
This
yeah,
Christmas.
Yeah.
It feels
That's our
like
Christmas.
football. This is our Christmas. Right.
That's well, so obviously moving up from Tennessee to BG, how's that transition been? A little bit cooler in BG, right?
No, not today.
No.
No, it feels like Nashville. Honestly, it feels like one of those hot, sweltering days in Nashville. But it's been great. Honestly, I'm familiar with being in Ohio.
Sure.
Even when I left Ohio State, I still had a presence in Columbus, and I had my businesses, a landscape architecture firm that I started in 2003. And, I've been around the state in that regard, and I've done so many different things in the state of Ohio. Now coming back as a head coach is awesome. Being a part of the community once again, it's great to be in this capacity. And the transition has been a little daunting, but that's expected, but exciting because it's a new chapter in my life. It's a new chapter in my son's life, my family's life, and it's been well received so far by the community of BG, and we love it. The quality of life that it offers. We're 57 minutes to Bowling Green from Detroit, and you have a chance to live a quiet, quaint life down in Bolt BG, and you have some great restaurants, and you have the most amazing sunsets that I think I've ever seen in such a peaceful environment. And then when I want to, get out and enjoy some nightlife, I can drive up to Detroit and go to a baseball game or a basketball game or a football game, if we have time, and go see a play, a concert. So the area is a hidden gem, and I love it.
That's BG is truly one of those kind of underrated Midwest towns.
Oh, yeah.
Just a lot of cool things, and it's close to everything, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So I got to ask, the theater department, have they reached out to you after your success on Chicago? They're doing Peter Pan. I didn't know if they've asked about fitting you for tights yet.
Nah, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think the Peter Pan thing is going to happen.
Okay.
I could play the pirate. Was the pirate, right?
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that's going to happen. I'll come to a show. I'll watch it, and I might drop a couple lines here or there. They asked me to be a part of the Shakespeare production that has required me to do a whole lot of heavy lifting and rehearsal time that I take away from football. Would be great. I love that.
Figured it would probably really mash up with the spring football schedule, and it's going to be a whole thing. But,
yeah.
So obviously, a well-established career at Ohio State, the NFL, and now you have an office in one of the most historic stadiums in the MAC. Coaching legends like Urban Meyer have come through these doors. How do you continue to add to that legacy and then your legacy here at BG?
By sticking to my values and principles, my convictions that have allowed me to accomplish some great things. And it's been my true belief in God and Christ leading me the entire way. And, when I think back on the last 15 years prior to me coaching, I had in my mind of the things that I wanted to accomplish and do. And if it were up to me, I'd be, in Bali somewhere, on a golf course, building my wealth management business and picking and choosing when I wanted to act with The Rock. Making movies and making money and enjoying the rest of my life. But he had other plans that said, man, there's work required, but this is so fulfilling to have a chance to wake up every morning and to say, man, I'm coaching in the MAC at Bowling Green State University, where some great coaches have come through.
Yeah.
Nealon, Coach Nealon's been here. He's a Hall of Famer. Just guys that have been that's come through the MAC that's been assistant coaches. You look at that list and you're like, ooh, man, this is you can't write a better script. And to have that opportunity after being away from the game for so many years, and to come back with a different perspective and a different way of doing things, and I've been developed differently. It seems like the perfect fit and the perfect time, honestly, for me.
So this obviously isn't your first introduction to the MAC. Your first college touchdown was against Bowling Green.
Yes, it was.
But this is your first introduction as a coach. In your press conference, and I've got the quote here, you intend to win the MAC in year one, and that you wanted to put a fence around the state of Ohio in terms of recruiting. What have you done to get the ball rolling on the recruiting side? And then what have you been doing with the team, or what have they been doing here in the offseason to begin that MAC championship run?
Well, every year, regardless of what kind of team we have, that's the intention. We don't focus necessarily on the outcome of it, but the process and the mindset that it takes to become a champion. And that's what I'm more interested in. Okay. Not necessarily the wins and losses, because you can win a game by playing really poorly.
Yeah.
If you don't address those things, then what is it all for? So I'm interested in the consistency, the discipline, the development, and having the discerning spirit of how to push, when to pull back, when to inspire, when to lay low. So that all matters, and the temperament and the leadership of this team is going to be different from any other team that I've ever had. So it requires some intentionality on my behalf to understand them, to build relationships with them, to sell ownership from them, to own the culture and where we're going, and to develop leaders. So everything that's required within that, the habits, the mindset, our thought process, our intentionality, how we approach the day, the moment that we wake up to the time that we go to sleep, it's got to be built around the culture. Yeah. You can't compartmentalize, like, well, I'm going to be disciplined in the football area and in the locker room, but I'm going to be undisciplined in class and in the community. That ain't going to work.
Sure.
That's 7-6. That's a 4-win mentality. Being completely bought into the culture day in and day out, leaving things better than when we got it. That's the mentality. The All Blacks. I'm enamored with that team that's been very successful in rugby for so many years, and they talk about their culture and a sweep the shed mentality, and that's something that going to a military academy, that my coach preached day in and day out, was keeping my shoes shined.
Yeah.
That we had to wax and buff the floor that we can see our reflection in it. The details of our the finger spaced.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
In your closet, with your hangers, and everything's folded a certain way. Hospital corners on your bed. So my eye has been trained, and I've been disciplined in that regard. So those are the expectations that I put on my team, and that's what we're going to focus on.
So your son Eric joined you at Bowling Green. Now I got to ask, what kind of portal package do you have to pitch him to get you to join you? You had to offer him something, right?
Well, I offered him an opportunity. That's it. His production in Tennessee State warranted some opportunities, and he's in the NIL stuff. That's on him, but that's not the end all be all. It's I told him to approach this as if you were looking at another opportunity coming out of high school, and you look at weigh the options. Don't just look at the bells and whistles or the facilities and NIL and all of that. The short term, but look at the long term.
Yeah.
Look at the men in the building. Who's going to develop you? Who's going to coach you and train you and challenge you and stretch you beyond your comfort zone on a daily basis according to what you want and what is your vision for your life, and how are you going to marry your personal vision to a higher purpose? And we all don't know what the higher purpose is, but we have to stay in constant pursuit of that in order to know what the next step is. And that's what faith is. It's like you got to move when you don't know what the next step is. You don't. It's the deep, dark unknown. It's scary into an abyss. You hope that God, that you take that step, that something is there, that you don't fall down. But if you do fall down, you're not going to fall down hard. You're not going to fall down too far. It's meant for you to get back up and to feel your way and to gain the understanding of where's my landscape, where am I going, and trusting that next step is going to be there. That's what faith is, and that's what God wants you to do.
I love that. I love that. Coach, we're going to end this with a couple rapid fires for you.
All right.
I'm going to switch this one up for you. Favorite musical?
Hamilton.
Okay.
Hamilton.
Okay. It's a good one.
It's a damn good one.
That's a good one.
I mean, it tells a great story.
Yeah.
It's well written. The music is amazing. I introduced my wife to it. She never stopped singing it, so I got tired of it. I used to know all the words, but now I'm like, I don't want to hear another word from Hamilton. But no, honestly, the amazing musical. And I would say, that's a close second is Chicago.
Sure. A stadium in the MAC that you're most looking forward to coaching in, aside from Deutsch Perry?
Ohio Stadium, Ohio.
Peden School.
Yeah. I mean, that's classic.
Yeah.
I mean, every venue in the MAC is historic and has that old school good feel. So I'm excited about playing in all the venues this fall.
Awesome. Well, Coach, that's going to wrap it up for us today. Thank you so much for joining me. I know I'm making it quick for you.
Good Lord, man, I was enjoying. We have a great. You have an excellent excellent way of leading the conversation, man.
We'll tell you what. Let's do a long form interview down the road. Get you on, do a full hour. How's that sound?
That's perfect.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, guys, Eddie George, head coach of the Bowling Green Falcons, joining me today. Coach, good luck here in your first season at Bowling Green.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
In the time it takes you to actually board a flight from Group 8,
now boarding Premier Altitude Elite Club members.
you could have bought a Hyundai on Amazon. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. Limited availability, pickup through participating Hyundai dealer in select markets.